Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and tackle another in-depth candle review. We are going to discuss Kringle Country Candle Sweet Peach today. If you are not familiar, this is a new fragrance from the Country Candle line that is new for spring-summer 2023. And this is one of the first few country candles that are coming out in the new soy formulation. The wicks that are used on these 2-wick country candle jar tumblers are different than the wicks that are used on the 2-wick tumbler jars. These these more traditional jars here. So the wicks are different. You will have to be a little bit more careful in terms of trimming these wicks, especially for the first part of the candle. I'm finding that the more that I burn the country candles down, the less the mushroom tops are forming. And so the trimming becomes not quite as important, but for the first, I would say, half of the candle, you really do need to be good about trimming off those mushroom tops that form. The candles are burning quite hot, which, is causing those mushroom tops to form, and that helps with the fragrance output. So those mushroom tops are definitely a good thing, but they can be kind of messy, and you certainly don't need quite that much carbon residue just hanging out. So trim your wicks for sure. But as you go further down, the need for trimming becomes a little bit less important. So this is something different that I've kind of found with these new, this new wax in this particular jar. I'm going to show you guys the side of the candle real quick so that you can see how far along I am. You can see I am almost to the end of this one. I have been burning this candle in my Chester Hurricane. This is actually the pedestal for the Chester Hurricane here, and this is just a Homeworx candle pedestal that I just put on top of there. I normally actually have the Chester Hurricane, the glass part, on here as well, but I take it off for filming because the glass is a little bit like bubbly and wavy, so it causes a distortion. But do know that this candle has lived the bulk of its life in the Chester Hurricane in my dining room. That does make a difference because I do think for this particular one, the performance was better when I had it in the Hurricane versus out, and that includes strength and throw. So the dining room in our house is kind of one of the few rooms that has a more like closed off type of space. And unless I have the windows open in there, the throw is usually contained mostly within that dining room space. Like there's a little that leaks out of like the doorway into the dining room, and then there's also a doorway that goes to like a back hall. And like the fragrance definitely wants to like sneak out there, but really the dining room is one of those areas of my house where the fragrance is mostly like just sort of held in. So my perspective and review of this candle is with it in that space. This was one that I didn't move around a whole lot. Sometimes I will do that. Just letting you know, I did not do this with this particular scent. I just kept it in the dining room. It was a really great scent for that space. And so she just lived her life there. Let's go ahead and get into the fragrance description, the scent notes. I'll tell you guys about the overall quality of the burn, the strength, the throw, whether I had any issues or anything like that. This, by the way, is available in the large tumbler, which is what I have here. It's available in the medium jar as well, the daylights, as well as the wax melts. So if you're not sure about this scent, I would say get the daylights or the wax melts first. Someone asked me if the daylights are a good representation of what the candles smell like when they're burning. And I do think that is absolutely the case, but you have to keep in mind that you're essentially lighting a votive. So the amount of fragrance that you're gonna get out of a daylight is quite limited. But it's to just give you a representation of what the candle smells like when it's burning. because I do think sometimes candles can smell different from, you know, just the regular wax format versus when you light that wax up and you experience the full fragrance. So I do think daylights are a great representation, but no, you're not going to get the strength and throw out of a daylight that you would out of just a regular, you know, like 2-wick tumbler, well, this 2-wick home style jar, if you will, that you're getting from the Country Candle line. But it is going to give you a sense of what that candle is going to smell like, both on cold sniff as well as when you light it. You'll have to be kind of close to it to really experience the fragrance, but it will give you an accurate representation of what the candle is going to smell like. All right, Sweet Peach, a decadent blend of juicy peaches and brown sugar wrapped in warm spice and toasted oats, topped with honey drizzle and whipped cream. Yum. Your top notes here are honey drizzle, whipped cream, and apricot nectar. Your mid notes are Georgia peach, brown sugar, and nutmeg. And your base is tonka bean, Madagascar vanilla, and toasted oats. So what do I smell? First of all, this is not your typical like candied peach ring type of peach. This is more of an authentic, like middle of summer, ripe, juicy peach situation. And this does have the natural sweetness of the peach, but it also has the addition of that brown sugar. So there is just this slight touch of molasses in here that almost gives this it's very borderline and maybe like not even quite on the border of savory, but somewhat almost savory to my nose. That being said, it is still sweet because like I said, there's brown sugar in here. There's also honey. Now, honey also has a specific type of sweetness where it's almost like a warmer, like ambery type sweetness, if you will. And I think it's a really great combination with that brown sugar as well. This almost leans like a borderline fall peach type scent because that brown sugar and that nutmeg really bring out some warmth in here that make it almost a little bit cozy smelling. But I do think this is just a great, especially summertime scent. I don't know that peach is something that I necessarily really think about for the spring, but I love peach scents during the summer. I'm a real sucker for, honestly, most stone fruit type fragrances. If it smells like apricot, if it smells like nectarine, if it smells like peach, like I love all of those. So good. It's plum as well. I love plum as a summertime fragrance as well. Plum also lends itself nicely to a lot of fall scents too. But yeah, any type of stone fruit, I'm here for it. So yeah, you're really getting a nice, fresh, authentic, juicy peach in here, but definitely combine that with some of that brown sugar sprinkled over top, a little bit of honey drizzled over that. You definitely smell that tonka bean. Tonka to me is like an unsweetened vanilla almost. It's like vanilla with more like earthiness to it. I don't always love tonka. I love when it's paired with a regular vanilla because I do like vanilla that has a touch of sweetness to it. Tonka typically does not. Like I said, it has more of those like earthy vanilla type notes. But I like this here because it has the tonka, so you're getting that little bit of earthiness, but you're also combining it with a more traditional vanilla, and it's a lovely combination. This is a sweet scent. I don't consider this overly sweet. Again, to me, borderline, ever so borderline savory. I don't pick up the toasted oats. I was kind of hoping that I would smell that because I think that that would be a delicious combination, like a peaches and oatmeal or like oatmeal and peach type of scent, I think would be so lovely. But I really don't pick up any type of toasted oats type scent at all. So the fragrance overall I think is quite delicious. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this one. If you are iffy about that brown sugar and molasses type note, I would say go for the wax melts or the daylight first. You may not like that in here. I do. I think it kind of sets it apart, makes it a little bit different. It's like I said, it's definitely not like that candied peach ring type peach. It's a little bit deeper than that. but it is really, really lovely. In terms of strength and throw, I'm gonna put this in the solid medium performance category. So what that means for me is this was in my dining room in a hurricane. The strength was a solid 7. It was quite noticeable when walking into the dining room. The throw, I'm only gonna put it about a 6, but I feel like that might be dependent on, again, the space where I had it. My dining room is not really famous for causing a lot of fragrance to be, you know, dissipated around the house necessarily. If I want something that is going to fragrance the bulk of the house, I'm gonna put a candle here in the entryway because the air kind of swirls around here in this entryway. I would put something in maybe like my kitchen nook, or I would put something in the family room. But those are the areas where I know fragrance has a much better airflow to it. So if I wanted more out of this, I would probably scooch it around, but it's been a great scent for my dining room. So again, these are wicks that you want to trim between each burn. I would not burn this for more than 4 hours at a time. That's where I have found my sweet spot with these new candles. So that's what I would recommend. Of course, you can definitely push it further beyond 4 hours. I just feel like when I do that, I start to get some discoloration on the side of the jar in terms of maybe like some sooting. But if I go 4 hours and no more, like, things are great. I'll show you guys. I'm really pleased with how clean this burn has been. I mean, it's pretty flawless. So the wax pool gets nice and deep. I anticipate finishing this scent probably in the next several days. And I look forward to repurchasing it. I mean, this definitely has been one that I've been lighting up every single day. It has made me happy. It's a delicious scent. It's fresh, it's juicy, it's a great summertime scent. So if you're in the market at all, I would definitely recommend picking this one up. I will put my discount code in the description box down below, as well as where you can shop for Kringle candles. Let me know if you've picked this one up and what your thoughts are. Leave that information down below in the comments. And I appreciate you guys being here so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.